Hi, Ross. Thanks for taking some time to chat tonight. I wanted to start. So, you're a 6K IR driver. When did you start sim racing?
I started in 2017, and throughout college, I had watched iRacing. I was a big fan of Ray Alfalla and was watching all the eNASCAR stuff. I think it was like the peak antifreeze series at the time. And throughout college, I was drawn to just watching iRacing, and I was like, one day I want to do this. But in college, I just didn't have the time nor the money or the PC to be able to run it. And so fast forward 4 years after I graduated, and at the time, my fiance, now wife, we went to Charlotte and visited the NASCAR Hall of Fame, and they had simulators set up with iRacing on it. And as soon as I hopped off the simulator there, I was like, okay, I have to do this. Like I had kind of drifted away from um video games a little bit
Yeah.
and watching sim racing, but after that I was like, okay, I want to do this.
So, tell us about your setup then. So, 2017, I'm guessing you didn't go like full SimuCube triples and all that, but like, what are you running now?
So I started out uh with I had a Logitech Driving Force GT wheel, and that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
DFGT, yeah. And so I had that for my PlayStation because I love Gran Turismo.
Hmm.
And so I started out with that, just hooked to a desk with a desk chair,
Yeah.
and had to figure out how to keep the pedals steady on the floor.
Right.
Um, and so I started out with that. Then I graduated to an open wheeler rig. They're pretty affordable. I think I bought it off of Amazon, and it just so happened that it was like one of the first ones that popped up that could fit a driving force, a Logitech wheel and pedal set on it. So I just went with that. Um, so that's where I started out and started slowly upgrading components and equipment, and now I have a full 80/20 extruded aluminum rig from SimLab.
Hmm.
I use the GT1 Evo. Love it. I'm still driving, believe it or not, I'm still driving on a single monitor.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, but maybe one of these days I'll either go to triples or VR. We'll see. But yep.
Well, that's just even scarier that you're 6K and you're driving on a single. Oh man, it's amazing. So we just did our second major event of the year. That's sort of a unique feature of the Grand Prix Tour, and you won the first one that we did, which was at Coda. How did that race unfold from your perspective?
Circuit of the Americas has always been one of my favorite circuits. It's one of those that I've had a lot of success on pretty much no matter what I've driven. And so it's just one of those tracks that I find for me just fits me well. It's got a great rhythm. Um, first first section on the track, and then you've got some really tight corners, and so I had a lot of confidence going into that race to begin with. I knew, and it's still something that I kind of need to improve on. I haven't in this league, I haven't focused too much on my qualifying setup, but try to make the race set for my car to keep the tires happy, and also be confidence inspiring, not be too twitchy, but also not be too understeery. So for me going into that race, I really just wanted to get a top five, and I just wanted to focus on what I could control. That's what I try and tell myself. Just focus on what I can do, and if I minimize my mistakes, hopefully I'll get a decent result. And sure enough, that's what happened.
Yeah, it was kind of a race of attrition. I mean, I didn't realize going in how tight the track limits were, and we had a lot of drivers struggle with that and actually end up getting penalties towards the end of the race. Okay, so you've made every Grand Prix Tour event so far this year. Like, what are your impressions of the league?
I think it's great. Over the years, I've participated in a handful of more casual sim racing teams, and participated in a lot of endurance racing events, and then more recently was involved in some, I guess I would kind of say, semi-pro, uh, more very serious sim racing teams. And I kind of had to, especially when I had my kids, I kind of had to take a step back and be like, okay, what direction do I want to go in with sim racing? And that's where my I rating sort of stalled out, and I was like, okay, I want to find a league that I can have fun in, but it's also competitive. And to me, when you had messaged me about joining the league, it sounded like the perfect fit. So um, I've, from the very beginning, from like the prologue event that we had at Okayama, I found that everyone is very respectable on track while also pushing each other well. So to me, that's great. And if I know I'm not one of the more talkative folks on the grid, but it seems like everyone is willing to have a good joke, but also try and compete for podiums and win.